Introducing Luminess Airbrush Spray Hydrating Primer, your secret weapon for flawless makeup. Lightweight and hydrating, it's your first step to a flawless look. Enriched with hydrolyzed silk, it smooths and conditions your skin, while hyaluronic acid locks in moisture, leaving your skin plump and radiant. Adjusting it for your skin type is easy. One spray works for normal skin. If you have drier skin or more textured areas, add a bit more. Oilier skin? Use a little bit less. Now that your face is primed and hydrated, it's time to take your makeup to the next level. So grab your favorite Luminess Airbrush foundation and apply it as directed. Your Luminess Airbrush Hydrating Primer is formulated to work with all Luminess foundations, ensuring a natural, fresh, and polished look. Luminess Airbrush Spray Hydrating Primer. It's your skin's best friend. Let's unlock the secret to your best look with Luminess Conceal Air Concealer. First, ensure good hydration with a primer under your eyes. Next, add your selected concealer color in light dots. Remember, a little goes a long way with this highly pigmented formula. Use a small fluff brush or wet sponge to blend and disperse the pigment evenly. If the formula feels too heavy, thin it out with a damp sponge. And lastly, buff away any excess concealer for a flawless finish. Luminess Conceal Air Concealer, your key to flawless beauty. All righty, my friends. Hello, hello. Welcome to Luminess. My name is Dorothy. I am one of the beauty experts here at Luminess. And I have been getting messages with challenges on colors. And I love it and hate it. Okay, so I feel your frustration. And so I hate it that you're frustrated. But I love it because that's what I get to do and help you out with and help customize the look and coloring with. So there are a couple of reasons why your coloring can be too orange, why it can look cakey or heavy, or why it just isn't right. And so we're going to kind of go over that today. I'm going to talk about problem solving the foundations with the different formulas, just so that you can really understand what maybe you can do to tweak it. Now, look, I'm not saying you don't have the wrong color. If you just ordered and your color is too orange and you look like an Oompa Loompa, but it's probably too dark. And so I'm not discounting that. But what I am saying is sometimes it's our application process, and sometimes it's the color, and sometimes it's both. So this is how we kind of look at that and decide it. So the first one, I'm gonna go through all of the formulas real quick. The first formula is the airbrush veil. Very rarely is that the wrong color. And the reason that is because it's so sheer. It's so sheer. You can really get it. Hey, Andrea, nice to see you here from, look at you. Nice to see you here. Nice to see you here. But we're here, the airbrush or the air veil is so sheer that, I mean, I put on a 50 when I was tanning, doing like a tan look, and it looked great because it's so sheer. So I don't get a lot of issues with the airbrush veil. But let's talk about the airbrush spray foundation. This right here, this bad boy. What happens when that is the wrong color or when it looks crazy on your face? Well, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put on my primer. Now, why is the primer important? Because that helps with the texture of your skin. If you have older skin, if you have scarring, I've had some people in Luminous Live having scarring issues. This is your best friend for scarring. This is your best friend for fine lines, dehydrated skin, wrinkles. This is your go-to. So let's kind of break down what you need with coverage. If you're trying to cover up large pores, fine lines, wrinkles, scars. You don't need to cover them. You need to hydrate and keep your skin um, with a skin barrier. And this is the skin barrier that keeps the foundation or the pigment from sinking in to that texture. Those are all texture issues. They're not color issues. Alrighty. And so let problem solving number one. If you are having challenges with the texture of your skin, the thin skin looking crepey, or the pores looking more prominent, and you are using the airbrush spray foundation, pores looking more prominent, all of that stuff, then it comes down to you need more of a primer and a skin barrier on. Okay, so there's number one. There's tip number one. So making sure your skin's hydrated, making sure that you have a primer that can kind of sit in between any foundation you're putting on, no matter what the formula is, to help it not settle into fine lines, wrinkles, large pores, any scarring. Scarring is texture. So anything that has to do with the texture of your skin not being smooth, that's where you need a primer. That's where you need to add moisturization. That's problem solving number one. Okay, let's go to number two. I'm pulling out a color. So let's just say I just ordered and I really, truly want to be tan. And I maybe went and tanned. I haven't, but maybe I went and tanned and I'm looking at the chart and I ordered the color that I thought I needed. Like maybe I needed a medium warm. I think I need to be tan. How do you know when it's the wrong color? Hey, Jeannie, good to see you here, friend. How do you know when it's the wrong color versus the wrong application? So let me show you. This is a 50. I know this is the wrong color for me. I know it, but I'm going to show you what a wrong color looks like when over applied. Okay. So most people, when they get it, when they get their new foundation and they do this, they put it on there and they fill that brush up and then they put it there and they're like, oh, whoa, I look orange. Okay. And they just put it on and they just go, yeah, that's not right. So, yes, you're right. This is not right. This is too dark, right? But this was too much also. So, let me show you, even with the wrong color. And yes, I'm 100% admitting, I mean, I don't have to convince you that's the wrong color and a little too dark for me. Like we all see that, right? Right. But if I'm using the proper application and I am doing 2 short sprays, that will do half my face. I loaded this for here and only put it there to get a color swatch. But if I use the proper application and only do half my face and I spread that pigment out, moving it, moving it, moving it, moving it, moving it, moving it, all the way around where I need it to be moved, this is the best proper application to get the right color for your skin because again, the formula is meant to work with your skin tone, right? It's not meant to completely cover it. It's meant to melt in and work with it. So if I'm doing the proper application, this is what the too dark is going to look like. And if I'm tanning, that may be what I need. That may not. So even if you have the wrong color, proper application and not overdoing it is super, super, super important. Let me grab, where is it? Right here. If you guys have not tried the airbrush makeup eraser, y'all, you don't even know what you're missing. Put it on this great little cloth that comes with it and boom, it's gone. It's off. Look at that. Like seriously, no pulling on the skin, no harming to the skin. You know, you're not sometimes these cloths can be they can they're not rough, they're very soft, but sometimes they can pull a little bit and exfoliate the skin a little bit more than I'm comfortable with, especially if I got to do it several times, like in demos and putting it on and all of that. What I love about this is it pulls all that pigment off and then it leaves my skin moisturized. I love that. That dark looked good. I know, right? It really does. Like, it's so flexible. The pigment is so flexible that if you apply it with the proper technique, with the 2 short sprays, and you know, I've been repeating it. 2 short sprays will do half your face. If you apply it that way, like, I can get away with something deeper and darker, and not that I need to. Look, I'm not telling you to settle. Look, I'm not trying to convince you not to get the right color. What I'm trying to show you is that sometimes it's the technique, sometimes it's the color, and sometimes it's both. And so I wanted to show you the coloring and the both. So now I've got it off. Now let's just say I'm going to use my proper color, which is a 25. That is, that's my optimal color. 20 leans into my fairness, 30 leans into my warmer colors, but 25 is pretty dead on for my color. But I'm going to show you my color not properly used. And you're going to be able to see how it, quote unquote, doesn't quite look right when you don't do it properly. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to just, oh, this is the newer one. Hold on. I am trying not to use newer cans. I'm trying to use the ones that I've already got open. So bear with me. Sorry. This hair is looking kind of crazy today, y'all. I thought it was going to be cute, but it's looking kind of crazy. Sorry. Okay. Get it out of the way. Go back. Okay. If you overload the brush, okay, and you apply it, well, that looks close, right? But it looks ghostly on me. Okay. So if I do it with that application and I am using too much in one place, instead of the 2 short sprays and moving that pigment forehead to cheek to chin, forehead to cheek to chin. This is, again, we're dispersing the pigment about, I don't want to lose all my color. I'm pretty fair. So, if I get and lose any extra color in my skin, I'm going to look transparent. Do I add blush? Sure. I add blush. I like blush. But I want to make sure that I am not oversaturating it and making my face look too matte, too dull. That's probably a better color. When you build pigment and slash it and put it right in there and don't let it disperse out with your natural skin color, it can tend to dull your skin. And this is not the season for dull skin. So you can see that kind of, it once it kind of heated up, it went in with my skin tone. And this did too. But if I do this, do you see how that's streaked? I mean, you can just see it move across my skin, because what it is it's too heavily piled on there. I didn't give it an opportunity to heat with my skin. And so the pigment is actually sitting on top of my skin where it has not worked with my skin. So that is the importance of doing it in small increments. Giving it the opportunity to really just blend with your skin. You still can't get the Tame lipstick. It's sold out in 24 hours. Oh my goodness, Jeannie, I'm so sorry. I don't have access to that, or I would hook you up. I would. Okay, so if we are doing wrong coloring, and a Jeannie can help with this, and Andrea, you can help with this. I love it when our longtime Luminess lovers come in and help. That was for Airbrush Spray Foundation. Okay, so application process is key. I can fix the color. Like, we can adjust the color and get you the color you need. But oh, I just saw you come in. Hi. Um, if you're over applying, the color's never going to look right. That is the same thing with the breeze or the icon or any of the tools. If you are, and everybody say it with me because I know that y'all have been drilled in this for years. Heather did an amazing job teaching and training everyone on pulling back on the trigger. If you pull back too far on the trigger and you release too much of your foundation, it's going to look cakey. It's going to settle in the fine lines and pores. It's going to be orange or too yellow on your skin. It's not going to look right. It's going to, peel off and you're going to be able to put your finger through it and, all of the things. So application process is important. The first thing I do with everybody is trigger training. If you're having challenges going from the icon to the breeze because this trigger is super sensitive, trigger training. Put it in there, airbrush a white paper towel and see what the flow looks like. That trains your brain and your finger to visually know how light you need to spray to get the passes in, to give that light coverage that you're looking for. And not light coverage, but that light finish. So, alrighty, my friends, that is our problem solving. I love that we have so many options with our foundations, that we have so many options in creating and doing and all of the things. But it can come with challenges, right? We've got to learn our tools, learn the product, and figure out what works best for us. Oh, thank you, Jeannie. You're so sweet and so kind. So don't get overly frustrated. Come into Luminess Live, connect with us, ask your questions. We've got beauty experts in there all the time to help answer your questions. We've got Luminess lovers that have real life experience, have worked through systems, have tested and tried new things. They got tips and tricks on fun, great products and all of the good stuff. So don't go through this journey alone. Don't get frustrated. Just come in, ask for help, jump in, and let us help you get the texture of skin you want, get the coverage you're looking for, and really just finesse and customize your look for you. All righty, that is today's Wake Up and Airbrush. If you have any questions, come over to Luminess Live, ask your questions, and let's just have a good old time creating beauty personally within ourselves and outwardly. So make sure you do one thing today. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Until next time, bye guys.